There was a time when I thought I was fooling everyone. Every achievement felt like a mistake waiting to be exposed. Every compliment felt like someone had gotten it wrong, like I was wearing a mask, and one day someone would rip it off and say, "We knew you weren't good enough." It wasn't a single moment that planted this doubt. It was a slow build, brick by brick. Maybe you know the feeling. It's sneaky, isn't it? That quiet voice in your head that whispers, "What if you're not actually as capable as they think?" Let me tell you about the moment I decided to stop listening. I was sitting in a meeting, surrounded by people who seemed so much more qualified than me, the kind who always have the right answers, who speak with confidence and don't second-guess themselves. Meanwhile, I sat there, heart racing, convinced they'd all realize I didn't belong. But then something happened. A question came up, one that nobody could answer. Everyone hesitated, and then they turned to me. My mind froze, that familiar panic rising. They'll know you're a fraud. But I spoke up anyway, and guess what? I nailed it. Not because I was lucky, not because I got it by accident, but because I knew my stuff. In that moment, I realized something. The voice in my head wasn't real. Here's what I've learned since then. Self-doubt is a master of disguise. It wears the mask of humility, making you think you're just being realistic. It dresses up as rationality, convincing you that your success must have been luck or someone else's mistake. But the truth is, self-doubt is just fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. And like any fear, it grows when you feed it. So how do you stop feeding it? You rewrite the story. For years, my story was, "I'm not good enough." But what if the real story was, "I'm learning and growing, and that's enough"? What if, instead of asking, "What if I fail?" I started asking, "What if I succeed?" Our minds are funny like that. The questions you ask shape the answers you'll find. When self-doubt starts creeping in, I borrow confidence from my future self. Close your eyes and picture yourself a year from now. Imagine all the things you've accomplished, all the fears you've conquered. See that version of you standing taller, more confident, proud of how far you've come. Now bring that version of yourself into this moment. Let them remind you that the only way to become that person is to start acting like them now. The truth is, self-doubt doesn't disappear overnight. But here's the secret. You don't have to feel ready to take action. Action creates confidence. Think about something you've been putting off because you don't feel good enough. Write it down. Now take one step toward it, just one. Every time you doubt yourself, remember this. You're not alone. Self-doubt isn't a sign you're unworthy. It's a sign you're human. And every small step forward, every little victory chips away at that doubt until it has no power over you. So take the leap. Write your story. And remember, the only person who gets to decide your worth is you. Tell me in the comments, what's the one thing you've been holding back on because of imposter syndrome? And what's the first step you'll take to make it happen?